Once more, good evening. It's already morning in some parts of the world now, specifically in Asia. Back home in the continent of Africa, in Arkebulan, we are running between 10 p.m. in some parts of the continent, and in other parts, we are around 11 p.m. or 12 midnight. I was here last week and I spoke on a couple of things. As expected, I realized that what seems to have captivated or captured the interest of certain individuals who are passing around to be part of the new brass of leadership in this struggle that has been metamorphosing as if it's some sort of political gaming. We're more concerned with the issue of me asking people to line up behind me. And the moment you realize that the only thing people can pick up as the most important message is that of people lining up behind me, you will know that the real trouble that we have in our hands is that of power. There is nothing for anyone to aspire to have control, to have power. It's not a bad thing. However, when you come up with an aspiration on the backs of others who have suffered, without reflecting carefully of the importance of it, then you become as dangerous as the entity that people are fighting against or trying to break themselves away from. The biggest problem we have faced in this struggle, as I said last time, this is what most people don't want to say in the open, has been the issue of us shooting ourselves on the leg. Jealousy has caused us so much death in this struggle, than even the wickedness and the murderous instincts of the neo-colonial power, La République du Cameroon. I spoke here the first time I addressed Mr. Bia. A vast number of you were not on Facebook. And even if you were on Facebook, you were busy doing cultural stuffs and other things, showing off yourselves, your new house, your new car, your birthday parties, your born house, baby shower, and at times funeral. The moment you heard my voice, which is a good thing, you gathered the courage to come out now, following exactly what was going on back in our own territory, and started talking. Even when you were doing that, some were still criticizing me and saying that because of what the state of Cameroon did to me, I want to take vengeance. No. When you go to the book of Romans, for those of you who say you are Christians, God has made it categorically clear that vengeance is mine. However, as a human being, for what the state of Cameroon did to me, I have every reason to be angry and even to be bitter. And I even have the right to think of others who have done this to me and to my people to be paid in the same coin. It is a human instinct. And it's not a crime to have that feeling or the urge to do that. But to a vast majority of you, no. I was committing a crime by speaking out against people who fed me with human feces and urine for 2 weeks, who sexually molested me, who put me on the balançoire, who asked me to dance singing Paul Biya before God, who put me on mock execution for 2 years. The guys will pull me out either 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., pretended as if that was the night they're going to kill me, to tie me on an imaginary pillar. And there will be people there who will be pointing that gun at me as if they will shoot me that night. And they will take me back into the solitary confinement. Many of you could not believe it. You brought in jealousy. I come from a family without a name, and it became a concern for you. Jesus had the same concerns. The same accusations were given to Luther. Mandela himself suffered the same thing in prison. Human inclination is always to look and condemn the smaller, not smallest, the smaller one among them. As for the smallest, they are never considered. Yet, I didn't give up the struggle. I gathered myself. I've advised here severally that we should be careful on how we prosecute this struggle. The more I advise, the more most of you turn against me behind. Everybody became a leader. And even those who were coming to me for advice, behind the scene will go out and attack me. And when they realized attacking me was not enough, they tried to discredit me. And when they realized they could not discredit me enough, they were looking for means to eliminate me. And when they realized they could not eliminate me, they make a mess of the struggle, leading to the death of hundreds of thousands of our people. I went to my library a few minutes ago before I came online. There is this book. It's called African Gorillas. It's written by Morten Bars and Kevin Dunn. On page 199, there is a very beautiful chapter there. Angola, how to lose a guerrilla war. Angola, how to lose a guerrilla war. By Assis Malachias. My people, the mess most of you have made, directly or indirectly, have not only led to the slaughtering of our people, but has created an avenue where we are gradually not only losing focus, but losing the grip of this liberation struggle. The advice I gave to you people, which most of you did not heed, I remember severally when my junior brother Mark Barata will say, oh, this is our God-ordained revolution. He wasn't the only one saying that. A host of you were talking about a God-ordained revolution. I came online and said, hey, listen, we are not involved in a revolution. We are involved in a liberation struggle. If you continue to ask God for something else while you want something else, you will get nothing. Some of you thought I was mad. I repeated this severally. You did not want to listen. Even when you knew it was the right thing, because you were so jealous of me, you thought it would be so unacceptable for people to think that Ebenezer knows better than you, without realizing that you are jeopardizing not just the struggle, but the lives of our people, and even the children yet unborn. You were prepared to refuse to do the right thing as long as it comes from me. You continue to pray, even those who say they are prophets among us and pastors. You jump into this nonsense. You pray every day, and you were praying for what? A God-ordained revolution. Do you know exactly what is a revolution? Let me tell you what a revolution is. A revolution is a successful rebellion that results in major change, such as a change in government. Revolutions are typically organized movements that aim to effect change in society, such as economic, technological, political, or social change. In a nutshell, you guys have been fighting for something which La République gave, and you say you don't want special status. You want a political change. You were not fighting to create an independent homeland, and you prayed for it. You danced takumbang on it. You went to meetings and talked about it. You refused to listen. Now, what is a liberation struggle? A liberation struggle is a political or organizational movement that seeks independence from a colonial power or national government. Liberation struggles are often characterized by guerrilla warfare, widespread public support, and a nationalist identity. What did I say? Guerrilla warfare. When I said it is time for us to defend ourselves, what did you people do? You first rejected it. You said, I want people to die. And then later on you say, hey, this liberation war like this is where there is money. So I will jump into it and start my own guerrilla movement, my own whatever, guerrilla movement or what. Yet you did not create guerrilla movement. What did you do? You created a self-defense unit. Because you thought there is money in it. Not to liberate the people. You have no knowledge about it. I came online and I made it categorically clear that it is time for us to defend ourselves. I said it is time for us to buy AK-47. How many of you came to me and said, Doctor Ebenezer, Molambongo, since you are raising up this issue, it means you have sat and thought about it very well. What exactly are you thinking? And where can we come in to help? None of you did that. You didn't do that. First, it was the so-called interim government that you people created, which I said is going to cause chaos. It will bring division and you refuse. And even after you discover it has made division among us, you have never apologized to me or to the people for using it to insult me and to cause more chaos and suffering for our people. What happened? You were chasing a revolution, which means you want an internal change in La Republique. Maybe some of you want to become ministers, governors, and whatever. That is what you've been fighting for all these years. The vast majority of you find it so difficult to use the word liberation struggle. Especially when you know that I have emphasized on it. You don't care. Even if it is the right thing, as long as it's Akwanga talking about it, we must find a way to refuse it, we must reject it, and we must find a way to destroy his name. Let's leave that aside. I've explained to you now what is a liberation struggle and what is a revolution. It is for you to decide what you are praying. Whether you are praying to the African gods for a revolution, then be prepared to take special status as it is. If you want a liberation struggle, sit back, reflect, join me, and let us free our people. How it will end, I cannot tell. But it must be a liberation struggle. When you go for a revolution, you will fall for something very, very low. When you go for a liberation struggle, you will fall for something that is acceptable for our people, for our culture, for our way of life. That will be able to be dignified for our humanity as a people. All of this has passed. Not too long ago, the Swiss Federation came up and said, listen, we want to do something. La République du Cameroon said, oh, go ahead. Try and talk to the people. We don't think that, in quote, the separatists are going to accept. And they were right at that time because we were tussling for power. So to them, they didn't believe we would even come together. The Swiss make overtures. All of you ran away. Everybody. They did the right thing. Using not just that experience for what the Humanitarian Dialogue Center has done around the world. They have succeeded in most cases. In some cases, they have not been able to succeed. But they have tried. The record is there. We didn't even find a means to look at their track record so that we will be able to judge whether we should accept listening to them or not. We went after them, attacking them for one reason alone. Oh, Biya spent most of his time in Switzerland. We cannot trust these people if they come on board. We did not even learn about the history of Switzerland, a country that suffered in the hands of Italians, Germans, and French. These three countries share a border with Switzerland. And the Swiss are the most democratic country in the world. I am serious in what I'm telling you. In Switzerland, they vote for everything, even trash cans. If they don't want the color of a trash can You cannot use it in a particular city. They vote for everything. They came in good faith. La République accepted them with bad intentions, thinking Switzerland would play the betting. And when they came to us, what did we do? First, the vast majority of us who have no knowledge about liberation struggle started accusing the Swiss of having collected money from La République without listening. Even to go there and listen. And they were doing everything to make sure we don't go there. The Swiss came to the United States severally. Nobody wanted to meet with them. I remember how many times I went to Mola Sako, who was heading the interim government at that time. Mola Sako told me that, Mola, I believe and trust in you. You better go for that meeting. Everybody said I should go for the meeting. In fact, if the Swiss actually were coming to kill me or kill us, I would have died long ago. I gathered everybody, met with the Swiss, talked to them, understood what they were saying, came back and gave a briefing to people who met me in this struggle. I bent my back, reduced myself to nothing, become submissive, only to make sure that we can find a way to salvage our homeland and save our people. I really don't know how many of you truly love our people. Whether you just say these things out of mere words. And because you have not suffered before. You have not received the torture from the hands of gendarmes on the cause because of this cause. You have not seen the toes of Kang Difet Zakaria that were all chopped off. They call him Pa Chakara as a result of torture. You have not seen the suffering of Philip Tete or how Yimbu Patrick died in prison with his stomach so inflated. You have not seen it. You are not even aware that a certain Faye Lawrence Yaounde is his name, Faye Lawrence Yaounde, to show you how our people were so corrupted that an elderly man was named Yaounde. Faye Lawrence Yaounde died in Kondenge, was never taken back to his homeland. And he comes from where? Nsoland. He was buried somewhere at Soa as I speak to you. You never thought about Ngwaricha Fomusa, who was the first person to die. That they got me up from my cell. Local 112. In the then quarter 3. That come because they were looking at me as the leader of the team of Southern Cameroonians who were in prison. Before I went to this dispensary of Kondenge Maximum Security Prison, Faye Lawrence, Ngwaricha's lifeless body was on the floor. Rats have already started eating part of his eyes and his scrotum. Because the bed where they put him had no mattress. So he struggled that night and fell and died on the floor, vomiting blood. Or Ntane Daniel Ndifon, whom I was sleeping on the same bed, we call him Manda, in quarter 3, local 112. He was not sick for up to 1 hour. My stomach, he died. I can go on and on and on. You have not seen people die before you. So you collect pictures, you collect videos, you're happy. You can share them. Now death no longer matters to you people. Do you understand the pain of our people? You sit here in the West, you accumulate wealth to yourself. You show off the houses you have, the cars you drive, the dresses you wear. In fact, like as I said last time, you have become champions in, Mekuda cultural this, Fako this, Manu this. Come and see you people dancing Moninki. These are the same people who want independence. Yeah, you have to be happy. It is true. You are dancing. Today it is as an ex-student. You are contributing monies, buying stuff to send there to Boya. You leave the bigger picture. Or it is ex-secret. Or it is ex-lots. These are the same people who have come into this struggle, find every means to destroy it and destroy our people. This book, many of you have not seen it. It's called Smiling Through Hardship by Ebenezer Akwanga. I am working on a new edition of it. I want to read you something from it. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. These are the words of the late Right Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and consensual stupidity. This is exactly how most of you have been. Exactly how you have been. People have sat with me here in my basement only to end up threatening me because I was not able to give up the SY or APLM and join them. People who have no knowledge on how you run a struggle. I remember how I was in Nigeria. Trick to go to Nigeria. At that same time, they have just made our brother in prison head of the governing council. By then, he has not been coronated as president. He met with Comrade Lucas Cho Ayaba. And Success in Congo was doing everything to make sure he can meet with me. Pleaded with me. I said, no, I'm ready to meet with any person. We spoke over the phone. He said, oh, my brother, we are going to meet. We'll meet over lunch. Okay, come over. We never met. Why? Because he was informed that Ebenezer Akwanga is a no man. You don't have any reason to meet with him. You can just run this thing away. You are the doctors and the rest. Just run it away. You have experience. You have money. You are working. Things are going to work. This is exactly the mindset. This is the advice they gave to him. And what happened? When I came up here and used a particular apt statement to say Johnny just come, you guys did not understand that Johnny just come means new players in the game who do not want to listen to the experienced manager or coach. New players in the game who have come in and have refused to ask even the old players in the team, how are things done here? It's like you go into Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, or you go to Mufuruli Wanderers, or you go to Orlando Pirates as a new player. No matter how good you are, the only good thing you do is to ask the experienced players there, how is life here? How are things done? How is the dressing room? You need to even find out about the attitude of some of your own colleagues that you are going to be playing alongside with. You can't just jump in and go into the dressing room and start playing the rank of King Kong. You are going to fail. In fact, even you are the best striker in the world, they will stop passing the ball to you. And you will not be able to score. And you will be condemned by the fans, no matter how good you are. Because you came in with sheer arrogance. You failed to learn how to move forward. This is why we are here today. The vast majority are no longer online. The people were always appearing online. Facebook this, oh, this man is online, I'm going to watch. This one is online, I'm going to watch. Where are they? They have all disappeared. All the beautiful girls who used to appear, oh, and ladies, I am mama this, I am this. Where are they? They have all filtered out. I said it in one of my programs. It's on Facebook. I never deleted the videos. I said, you see, when you want to do fufu, corn fufu, those of you from the northern region, you know, you will put it in the shifter. When you shifter it, the real soft one will come down. What will remain in is what the people call kende. I don't know whether it has another name in pidgin. But you can't cook that fufu without that kende, to show you that both need one another. Now the struggle, because of its chaos and at times its normal sequence, have sifted most of you people. You have disappeared. Girls have gone back to their boyfriends, or they are still looking for some. Wives have gone back to their husbands, or they are still looking, trying to find a means to get one. Young men have gone back to do the stuff they used to do. They no longer appear online. This is a curse, and this is the same curse that has affected nearly every struggle in the continent of Africa. This is a curse. You have allowed yourself to be imbued with so much jealousy that you refuse to listen. I don't have enemies in this struggle. I have no reason to have any. That is why even people who insult me, when they call me on the phone, I'll pick it. The only thing is, I won't spare you When I've said what is in me to you, know that that matter is over. I don't have a business to keep you in my heart. My heart is too small. I'm first a very small man. I'm not big. This is what I told Bia the other time. You see, if I die, you don't need a big coffin to put me to bury me. I'm a very small man. So you don't need to waste time. You guys don't know how things work, yet you don't want to follow how things work. You don't want to do that. You've put yourself in a situation where thousands of our people have died, and you move around pointing fingers at others while you are responsible for it. Not only your ignorance, but your stupidity. So what did you do? As I was saying, when the Swiss came, you attacked the Swiss. You called the Swiss all types of names. You called me Swiss cheese. And I don't even eat cheese. That was Swiss cheese, Swiss cocoa, and Swiss everything. At the end, after giving all that name, where are you? You have all disappeared. You attack Switzerland as if Switzerland doesn't intervene, or if HD doesn't intervene, they will have something to lose. No! We are the losers. We, who call ourselves Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, they have nothing to lose. Some of you were even questioning me. Doctor, when you go there, people have no knowledge, wants to teach me my work. I am not a surgeon. I can't tell a surgeon how to operate. I'm not a dentist. I can't discuss anything about dental stuffs. You come into my field and you think you can just come and take it over and run away. And I allow you to carry it away. It did not work. You call every name on earth. You now play into the hands of La République. La République is angry that we thought Switzerland is going to play our games. We thought because Papa Bia, as they call him, stays in Switzerland for too long, we can have the Swiss HD can do something that they can use these so-called Ambazonians and we play a game over them. HD said, we can't destroy our reputation. We want to do the right thing. We need to prepare you people so that when you go for negotiations, you should be as equal. One party should not dominate the other, otherwise we would have failed in our mission. Yaoundé that gave the go-ahead to HD and to the Federation of Switzerland did what? They could not tell Switzerland, no, we no longer want you to continue. They used a tactical method to stay away from the whole thing. And why? Because most of you played into the hands of Yaoundé. By attacking us, at one time Yaoundé said, oh, they are even so divided. Not everybody has come. A Swiss emissary went to Norway severally. You see why we make ourselves King Kong? Why we are not going anywhere? And I have said these things severally. If Chad, Republic of Chad that is French speaking, makes an approach to us, that, hey, listen, Ambazonians, we are not happy with what is happening. Cameroon has given us the permission to talk with you people, to see whether we can bring both sides together. Let us listen to Chad. Chad cannot force us. If Chad comes and says, oh, we'll send an emissary, we will listen to Chad. That is what smart people do. Because you are not only trying to free yourself. You know this is a game. And the international community is part of the audience of this game. If you play it where you win. You don't play it where you will lose. There's no draw in this game. There's no draw. It's a winner or loser. It's like a cup match. One side must win. It is an eliminatory competition. That is how liberation struggle is. You have to make that determination. So what did they do? They played and dribbled, and the Swiss said, okay, we will stay and watch. Canada did what? Canada came from that way and came like a hurricane, bam, and jammed it and entered into it. Canada have not even started speaking. The same you again went online and started attacking Canada. And the good thing with Ambazonian is that they are good in the field of recklessness. The way they operate, part of it, I don't know whether it's because there are so many educated people in this small territory. And so many people think that when they are academically educated means they are smart and wise. No. It doesn't match with smartness and wiseness. So many doctors, no other one wants to listen to the other. I have a PhD, you have a PhD, what can you tell me? The world doesn't work that way. It seems as if we have become a curse. Our too much education has caused us a lot of trouble. It is a problem that we have. A very big issue. I am sitting here, I'm the only leader who has gone to Asia. No one wanted to go to Asia. First, the trip is too long. And second, there was no money in Asia. Anyone who goes, they will not collect money. Our people only go to areas where they will collect money. That's it. I'm sitting here. How many of you can testify that I've come online? Or any of us in APLM and do fundraising? How many of you? Show me one example that since this struggle started, we have come online to ask you to contribute for us. But you come to us and you want us to deliver. You don't know where the money is coming from. And we continue to deliver. And Canada came in. I advised Canada, this is how you have to march. To bring everybody on board. I look too small. As usual, everybody will come in, use me. The moment they think they've gathered the people, they stop listening. I told Canada that, listen, Switzerland took almost 3 years. If you are not careful, you might not spend 3 months. This is what I told Canada. I spoke this to the head of the Canadian team. How many months did Canada spend? How many? So we find ourselves in this situation. We find ourselves in a situation where, just like when we have Ben Bola, Ewunkem, Kulu, who were magnificent players, Agua, and yet they were rejected. It's the same thing most of you people have done. And I'm saying it in the open, because there is no reason for you to refuse listening to what I have been saying, and time again, everything I have said has come to pass. The only reason that you will be refusing to listen is either because you are so jealous that you don't want the rest of the people to think that this small individual with a Bakore blood and Munani blood know exactly what he's doing. Or you are what they normally call a responsible idiot. Most of you haven't taken money from La Republique. You have actually been trying to do your best. Unfortunately, you have been doing it the wrong way. Because you refuse to listen. You have been doing it the wrong way. Okay, I'll give you another example. When FACO was existing and FACO was standing, there was one person that La République du Cameroon military was scared of. General Opopo. Opopo did a lot of other things which we of Sokadev were not happy. And the evidence are there of what I cautioned him. And I told Opopo, as I told every Sokadevian, look at me very well. If any of you commit any crimes against humanity or do anything that is contrary to the Geneva Convention or the international humanitarian law, I will be the first person who is going to expose you when the time comes. Yet what did they do? They said, hey, Opopo is the one holding Sokadev here. If we kill Opopo in FACO, we'll be able to run things. They kill Opopo. The day they were killing Opopo, they were asking Opopo to denounce me. And since they kill Opopo, what are you hearing in FACO? What is in FACO? This is how we have been operating. We think everything is for the public. Individuals will rush out here and run their mouth. If I was doing the same thing, I can assure you, a group of world leaders will never want to talk to me. When I met President Rawlings, I kept that picture away. I warned Eric Tato when he called me and said, I don't know who gave you those pictures, but don't dare put it online. Because for me, this is not an issue of propaganda. It is an issue of the very survival of a people. The protection of a culture and a way of life. It is not about killing the people of La République. It is not about eliminating them. It is about our own dignity as human beings. And it is our duty to defend ourselves and fight until the last man. That is our duty. I have asked you all time and again, show me where I went wrong. Unless you will tell me that I shout, my voice is high, or I am too truthful. Is it a crime to be truthful? Especially when you try to talk to people behind. They do not want to listen. What is your fault when you come out to chastise them in front of the rest of the world? What? I have laid down a strategy on what to do. I emphasize we will win only through a guerrilla warfare tactics. What did you people do? You created self-defense outfits. The moment you have $200 you send to them, or 200 euros, or 200 pounds, the moment you stop sending the money, they became terrorists to our own people. Because they could no longer receive that money. And when things become bad, you abandon them. I can't recall how many times I've intervened in situations in the northern region where Sokadef is not existing. And the only good thing is, there is not a single Ambazonian combatant who has refused to listen when I call. Because I have never taken sides. I treat all of them equally. If I have anything to give, I give it to you. I don't care where you belong. All of them. Our forefathers are my weakness. This is the way I've operated. I have decided to make sure they feel at home if I have the capacity. You organize fundraising. Some of you only want me online so that you can boost your followership. When I went to Texas the other time with Mula Sako, even the money they collected there, nothing was given to Sokade for APLM. So we have been used everywhere. When we go this way, they say we are supporting this. We come this way, they say we are supporting this. That's why I said I don't have enemies. I talk to everybody. But the question I want to ask each one of you, why have you people been so wicked to the common Southern Cameroonian? Through your actions, your words. Why have you people decided to make a mess of this struggle? Why? I came to this country, this United States, with 27 persons who came here, most of them, apart from Justice Ebon and Ambassador Wesley Angoni Tiku, all the rest who came to this country, they came that the United States government, the government of George Walker Bush, a Republican, brought them from Nigeria on the grounds that they participated in freeing me, in making me to escape from prison. I didn't come here as an asylee or a DV lottery. I did not refuse my role when Homeland Security came to interview me in Nigeria. No. They knew me. I had no documentations, but they could testify that my names are Ebenezer Akwanga. They interviewed me, went to Ghana. And in order to make sure every individual who was with me in Nigeria was brought over, I was almost the last person who was brought over. But do you know that even as they were bringing me over, while they were bringing my people over who were there with me, before God and man, I will tell you this without hiding it. The vast majority of these people came from Batibo. They are Ambazonians. And some of them, I have never seen them before. They never visited me when I was locked up in prison. Oh yes, I have the documentations with me here, which shows that they participated in liberating me from prison, in helping me to jump jail. Do you know that these individuals came to the US? First, they did not want to hear about Southern Cameroons. And second, when they started hearing about Southern Cameroons, it was not with me. They went to Comrade Ayok and others in this country. Not one of them could come online and testify that I, Ebenezer Akwanga, took a bottle of whiskey or champagne from them to bring them to this country. They never supported APLM or Sukadev. The very reason that it was SY and Sukadev, their actions that brought them to this country, they turned their back against it. Some have gone back home. Some are building houses. They have got married. They have made a family because of this struggle. Do you know how many Southern Camerooners are in this country? Some are in Hungary, some in Austria, some in Europe, in different countries in Europe, who have created fake birth certificates that they are related to me in order for them to have political asylum in those countries. None of those people have come out to support the struggle or support the cause in which I align with. They use the Akwanga name to benefit. I have no problem. I understand that in the midst of survival, you need to do whatever it takes to stay alive. I am happy for that. But karma will not spare such people that I don't need them to do anything for me. I want them to realize that the only reason they knew about Akwanga was not because my family has a direct relationship with Akwanga local government in Nasarawa state in Nigeria. It is because of the Southern Cameroons. The things I did for the Southern Cameroons. The things I did as a student leader in government high school in Victoria. The things I did as the first student union president of the University of Boya Students Union. The things I did as the leader of the SCYA and Sukadev. That is how they got papers. Do you know how many I met in New York who were dancing? They were dancing, how do they call it? Takumen. They don't attend meetings. They don't come to where I am. But they have benefited, not only using my name, using the struggle. How do they think karma will spare them tomorrow? This is the struggle. You are now all quiet. After almost 7, it's getting to 8 years. You are contented with the mess you have created. You are contented. You are now staying very quiet where you are. When others were in school, I was involved in meetings, nocturnal meetings with the late Batebison, who taught most of you people. He was a senior brother of mine. Chief Barrister Charles Acheleke-Taku. Meeting in nocturnal hours to see how we can free our people. Just as there is no lawyer presently, apart from Charles Taku and Professor Anyangwe, that has done so much. All the others are young boys who are coming up and trying to do their best. Like Barrister Fru is doing now. Look at this struggle. See what you people have done. I put these things every day. I give you examples. I went to South Africa. Created relationship not just with the ANC, with the South African Communist Party, but with COSATU. Because it is this triumvirate that normally forms the ruling government in South Africa. Do you know what happened? I went to South Africa, met our people who were already in South Africa. They were not able to create these inroads. The moment I came to South Africa and they discovered that I have done this, they went behind me, went to SACP, the Communist Party, and were trying to create their own inroads and trying to destroy my name. It is the leadership of the SACP that reached out to me. This is our people. In South Africa, with the support of Comrade Pitso Sifiso, who has just gone on retirement, a firebrand member of the African National Congress, we were invited to address the South African Parliament, the Foreign Relations Committee. How many of you are aware we went to South Africa? How many of you ever saw those pictures? How many of you? Because we never put those pictures online. I said this is not how we feed our people. By playing for a few seconds of popularity, we were just doing our job gradually. My wife put in monies. All the expenses for that trip, the entire delegation, I paid for it. I paid for it. Because my wife took an extra job only for the struggle. At a time that your own wife took an extra job for you people to finish roofing the house you are building in Yaoundé. And when I try to do something for myself and my family, you guys think that, oh, Dr. Akwanga don't deserve anything. He doesn't need to do anything. It became a problem. Now I said, come, line up behind me, let's finish this struggle. And some are telling me that, oh no, nobody will line up behind you, it's a democracy. Who told you that there's democracy in liberation struggle? Is it ignorance or stupidity? Who told you? You see how you people follow democracy? And you see how that your democracy has messed up the struggle. First, you deceived us, took us to Nigeria. You created some fake thing you call governing council. I warn you people. I was sick that day. Florentine Fonche was there. Timothy Tango Meimbi was there. I warn all of you that if you dare create a government or anything nearer to that, I will block it and it's going to cause a mess. You created governing council. You did everything for me to sign. I became the last person. After you have proven to me that, oh no, it wasn't a government. Within a twinkle of an eye, you thought we were creating government, you rushed and created a government. And then you told us that it's democracy. Where are we today? You did not end up there. You brought up this stupid mentality of Northwest, Southwest. Oh no, since it was a Southwest brother from the Southwest who was made president, let's get another one to put. They said, oh no, let's put Comrade Chris Ano. Some of you said, no. Their democracy never worked. You voted Chris Ano. The same democracy you were fighting for. You cancelled that democracy. You say, oh, Chris talks a lot, we cannot put him. Where does democracy works like that? You say it's democracy. So you remove Chris and you bring Dr. Common Sense. And when you put Sako, who was there innocently doing his thing online, you drag him and say, come and sit here. There is a pot of food here that we have cooked for you. The vast majority of you are non-starters. Having interest to liberate our people doesn't mean you know how to do it. And now you were hoodwinked 419. You were all going round and round and round. Individuals captured Sako, like what they do in South Africa, where they call it state captured. They captured him. Because when you people keep blaming that, oh, Sako did this, he messed up the struggle. No. If Sako made a mistake, it was a vast majority of people around Sako who did that. It wasn't Sako. He was all surrounded with all these guys, most of you from Mogamolan. You were pulling him to the left, pulling him to the right. When Sako will go and take the card, whether it's bank card or credit card for Southern Cameroon, and was scratching it to buy food and drinks, were you people not eating and drinking? Were you complaining then? And now you decided that you will crucify him as if he wrote an application that you should put him there. That is why I told you democracy does not work in a liberation struggle. It has never worked anywhere. It has never worked. If you try it, it will fail. You have seen it. You've seen the failure of it. Now, I want to show you something. You see this? It is written, we are the creative gadflies. This is a letter I wrote to Mr. Bia while I was at cell 112 in the Yaoundé Maximum Security Prison. It was written on October 5th, 2001. I am going to put this letter in an audio form for you to listen. I was a captive in the dungeon. 2001. I want you to listen to what I wrote to Mr. Bia just after having been condemned to 20 years imprisonment between the 5th and the 6th of April 1999, where the sentence was announced. I was not worried that this could keep me in prison for all that period of time. I wrote to Bia. I followed almost the format of a letter from Birmingham jail. But I was blunt and I was serious on what I was writing. I can't tell you the consequences of this letter. I was in prison when I staged up, as I said, my communication with Pope John Paul II and Angelo Cardinal Sodano, who was then the Vatican foreign minister. Today, a few of you are talking to people behind the scene and you are making a lot of noise. Oh, we've sent a letter to the Pope. We've done this, we've done that. What is wrong with you people? What's wrong with you people? What do you think you have done? If you have an archives of pictures and videos of the people that I have sat with and met with because of this struggle, I think you would have just declared that Ambazonia is a kingdom and you are the new king. Every young boy, every young girl who comes up claims, I know the struggle. I will do it. I've told you people, you will be sifted all like the corn is sifted and the kende is remaining. One by one. One by one. Because you have messed it up. You have refused to listen. You become so jealous that you do not even sit for 1 second to say, this our jealousy is going to affect the people and the homeland. You don't care. As long as you think, I will do whatever is possible to stand up against Akwanga, no matter how right he is, I don't care whether it hurts the people or the struggle. That has been your modus operandi. Most of you have operated like that. You've done it to damage our struggle. And now that you have damaged it and put it in a difficult position, I am even trying not to complain how messy it is. I'm asking for just one thing. If you truly want Southern Cameroons to become Ambazonia by name, if you truly understands and wants the respect of our unique culture, if you truly want that our humanity should not be taken for granted, come and join hands with me. Let us change the course of this struggle from where it is now. And give our people something meaningful to smile on. Nobody should deceive you that the whole notion of negotiation is being brought by them. No. We have been involved in this thing long time ago. Even after all what La République du Cameroun did to me, as many of you knew, as I told you, I wrote to the French. And I thought they would never reply. I wrote to Paris, the French government, because I know that we cannot resolve this issue if France doesn't have a stake in it. It took more than 6 months for the French to reply. And they told me, we are sending someone to come over to New York. We want you to meet with that person. I wasn't afraid that I would be killed like Felix Roland Momi was killed. Because my death will not be too much of a thing as compared to other children, young boys and girls, moms and dads, who have been killed and no one even knows where they have been buried. I'm just an individual, a simple man. And there is nothing which is most important than that if you have to die, you die for the cause of something righteous, to die for your people. And I spoke with the French. I reached out to different countries. I went to Belgium, tried to keep it. Before seconds, Mark Barata was aware, Eric Tata was aware. The good thing is they did not even know what I was doing in Belgium. Because I knew the only way I could continue to work for our people. The only way I will be able to allow our people to show respect, the people that I meet, to be willing to meet with me at any time and to understand the struggle for a separate homeland for our people, is by me following the norms of modern day diplomacy. Do more on your diplomatic outreach. Say little or nothing about it. After all, we are not a state. If I let the state of Cameroon know that I met with the king of Belgium, the state can just send a letter to the king and send a minister that will want to have a tete-a-tete with you. It's gone. You don't know how long it might have taken for a meeting to be set up between me and the king of Belgium. I'm giving this as an example. So we are not a state. Yet we continue to act in a stupid way. If I say, oh, I met with the foreign minister of the Federation of Switzerland. The foreign minister of the Federation of Switzerland can meet with anybody. Even the most rugged La République minister can go there and they are welcome. It takes time for us to build this relationship. It takes time for us to sit and for these people to listen to us. And it is important that because they are listening to us, we must do the right thing for the good of our people. That is how it works. That is how it works. That is how it works. I know when I speak, some will say, oh, he's mad. Oh, because he was in prison. You are right. If I am mad because of the cause of freedom. The things I've gone through as an individual has not made me to be bitter. It has made me to understand the importance of the human spirit. And the cardinal, the centerpiece of love as what can keep a people going. Love does not mean you shouldn't speak the truth. It doesn't mean you shouldn't call out those who are doing things which are not right. It means you have to be frank. You have to be steadfast. A brother wrote to me today and said, Doctor, please be careful so that Capo Daniel don't drag you down and you become a traitor. I read it and I laughed. I said, well, me, Ebenezer, I've not called Capo Daniel a traitor. I don't just use words anyhow. I see people differently because this is what I've studied. I have acted in the field and I've studied it academically. The reasons I align myself with people in the EPLF in Eritrea and the SPLA in South Sudan was because I wanted to understand things which are profound so that we don't make those mistakes. I've tried to inculcate that within Sokadef and others, but the vast majority of you people have put our people at risk. As I said, I talk to everyone. If I can meet a delegation from La République, someone who has been responsible for 5 failed assassinations on me in Nigeria, in a foreign country without being afraid that they might just kidnap me there, put me in a plane and take me to Yaoundé. So there is no Southern Cameroonian, no Ambazonian that I'm not willing to talk to if you want to talk to me. The only thing is, I have pulled myself too much towards you people. So you no longer see any reason to understand reality. Now I've decided to stay and wait for you to come. You have to decide. If the final decision for the vast majority of you people is a revolution, then find a way to tweak the special status. Because all what a revolution does is to change either the economic, the social, the political situations within the government where you find yourself. Don't fool yourself. That is a revolution. Like what happened in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Algeria, or in Romania, when Nicolae Ceausescu was toppled. That is a revolution. Revolutions change systems, topple governments, but it do not create independent states. What creates independent states is a liberation struggle. Because the way you follow a liberation struggle is totally different from how you follow a revolution. And the reason we have been failing and doing all of this nonsense, acting so stupidly, so cowardly, is because all along you have been following a revolution. Some of you are stuck in the days of union for change, when you think you can bend tires on the way and organize ghost towns and you will have what you want. You have refused to listen. You have helped in killing children on the ground because of your ignorance and stupidity. What's that guy saying? He talked too much. He thinks that he want to know. Oh yes. When I know something, I'm proud of it. The one I don't know, I have to learn. And to learn, you have to be submissive so that you can study, you can learn. I am what I am because I've learned from others. I can't be you, you can't be me. You have to decide. God gave the people of Israel a king. But go to the Bible, the day he gave them a king, he did not give them a king with joy. He was not happy. The people asked for a king, he gave them one. But he wasn't happy. Because he said, I have done all of this for you. I have liberated you, I have brought you through difficult circumstances. And yet, you are turning against me and asking for a king. Okay, I will give you one. Go back to the Bible and read. A lot of you read the Bible. I don't know whether you read it upside down. Go and read. Maybe you read it like those who are out here in the States, where the Bible has become something else, and they are gradually destroying the teachings of Jesus Christ. And that is why so many Africans rightfully have become doubtful. Even though they are claiming that Jesus is black and he comes from Africa, they are still doubtful of that religion because of the way it was brought. But not just the way it was brought. The way those who are talking about it, the way they speak about it, and the way they act about it, their actions and their words are not deemed enough to convert one soul to become a believer of Christ. It's the same with Islam. All they have become like social moribund clubs. So this is where we find ourselves. And I will repeat again. If you want to liberate the Southern Cameroons, you want Ambazonia to become a reality, join me. If you want a revolution, you just want to change things within La République du Cameroon and maybe make things a little bit better for yourself, don't join me. Just go ahead. If you are lucky, you might get a little bit. But if you are not lucky from the way things are going, situations will be worse than before 2015, 16, and 17. And the blood of all those who have died will be in your palms. I'm not perfect. But I've done my best in this struggle. And even many of you who have accused me have done that behind the scene without standing in front of me. Those who have contributed their money have used it judiciously. We were the first to put on uniforms. We were the first to run on communication devices on the ground. We have been the first in nearly everything on the ground. And when we taught our fighters, our combatants, IHR, we did not teach them not to defend themselves. We taught them that there are rules and regulations governing wars. And the first port of call is to respect the very people we say we want to free, because they were our last line of defense. That is what I said. I've used my names everywhere. I've put myself in everything. Schools in Holland even have studied my case in the law department. I am not alive because I'm a Superman. It is because of the mission that was thrust upon me by our forefathers, by the God we serve. If I was playing double game, the fun of soul will not allow me to be taken into the war council, dressed in war regalia, and traditional rites performed upon me. If I was not truthful to the cause, the late fun of Bafut wouldn't have welcomed me and had the discussion he had with me. If I was not steadfast, our elderly statesman and fun of Com, the power that most of you knew, wouldn't have received me. And that is the same thing that happened to me at Isu, at where I was taken into the war council. They did not see me as a Bakwarian, as a Mundani, as someone from the southern region. They saw me as their own son, their own brother and uncle, who has a heart prepared to fight for his people. That is why when I went to Ekondo Titi, I went to Mbonge, I went to every nook and cranny, even to Eyomojok, where Chief Ayamba was still alive. I was received with open arms. Because while most of you were still in school, some of you were not yet born, I was traveling the southern Cameroons. Just imagine that I would have been picked somewhere. I would have disappeared. Nobody would have ever known where I was. Because there was no Facebook. There wasn't any cell phone. I would have gone. How risky it was. But I went through all of that. At times stopped by gendarmes. Removed from the car, looked severally, and then asked to get back into the car, where I was moving around and canvassing for the southern Cameroons. Even in SDF meetings in my 16 Bolifamba, ask any one of them, they will tell you. The flag they said they brought from the UN, I am the custodian of that flag. I will hoist that flag anywhere in my 16, even when the SDF was meeting. I will hoist that flag in Mutengene. And SDF members were running away. They were scared. I will hoist that flag at Ekona Market, where Chief Toto of Ekona was giving me all the support. At a time when everybody was scared. I will hoist that flag in Munya. I went everywhere with that flag. At no time was I scared that I would be arrested or killed. Then how do you expect me to come abroad in the United States where there is inelastic freedom and be scared of fighting to continue the fight for you people? How do you expect that to happen? I traveled with a flag. I had it with me. I took the risk. And the better part of it was, my mother was just staying closer to Platini Hotel. She will always tell me, Molambongo, keep doing what you are doing. God will protect you. My father, the same thing. None of them was scared that I could be arrested, kidnapped, or killed. None of them. My own parents. Maybe it is because they were members of the CPNC. Maybe because it is they who prepared the receiving of Osagyefo Nkwame Nkrumah in Tiko in 1959. Maybe it is because of the role they played. The relationship my father had with S.T. Muna, though he was, in quote, an elderly man. Maybe it was because of the relationship my mother had with Elizabeth Muna, Though she was part of the opposition, the other side. Because of all of that, my father got even married to Zoe Ekangaki's sister. Was like a son to Eddie Mengot from Bakebe. Went to the junior seminary and Nyaseso. Spoke Bayangi better than the Bayangi man. Ejagan fluently. Douala perfectly. Was a close friend to Paul Senjo, a.k.a. Paul Bamleki, where he rented. Or Alhaji Usman, who is one of the renowned Muslims in Tiko. The late Martin Ngekaluma. They were like brothers. No one was that close as a man with Tabi Egbe to my father. That is why he sent gendarmes to come to Tiko Ndongo camp to take my father to go and become the bossa of Union Comprehensive Secondary School Bachakagwe. Because he knew his strength as an accountant and knew his leadership role. So I didn't come from the tree. A cat doesn't give birth to a duck. This is how immersed I am in the struggle. Before I was 14 years old, I was already questioning everything. If Abega Mbida Tiofi was alive, you would have asked him what I wrote to him while he was playing for Toulouse FC. Because of this struggle. I was 14 years old. Even when I brought Onana Eli Elundu to coach Union Football Club of Bolifamba, the Onana Eli Elundu that most of you people knew was playing for La République in the 1982 World Cup. I brought him, sat down with him, employed him as coach in my 16. I will sit with him. I will sit with Zakarinko. We will talk about the struggle. And even what the Bassa people did not stop me to sit down with my brother Nuk Prutus Bilal. Brought him over to Union Football Club of Bolifamba as vice president, and even started Little Foot Society, which is today having Little Foot Football Club. We started it. Where we brought in Ekeke Eugene, to come and talk to the players at GTHS Ombe dormitory, where we were using it every holiday for Western Soccer Center. But at no time did my aspirations for the struggle of my people dwindle. Those of you who are here know me. You know what happened in 1991 when I single-handedly with my team stopped May 20th in Fako. You remember, most students of Seka Baptist College, Baptist High School, Balingwa Grammar School, Moliko Boya, St. Joseph College, Sase, Bishop Roga, most of them, especially those of Seka, some were very angry with me because of the way I removed them from campus and asked them to join to demonstrate. I traveled to all of these schools. I don't want to call names of certain individuals because they keep going back to La République. On my own, John Frundi wanted to support. I said, I do not trust politicians. I said, I'm not a politician because I've never seen myself as one. I am a fighter. I am a combatant. I am a liberationist. That is who I am. I might not be a perfect one, but this is who I am. I'm not a politician. Because if I'm a politician, I'm a very bad one. Politicians don't speak the truth. They only want to follow the crowd. They want to say the things you will hear. That is why when you people decided to change the anthem of the Southern Cameroon that people have already bleeded and died for, I objected to it that don't do it. It is a bad omen. And some among us came to me to plead. Chairman, just leave it. Leave it, let them just change it. Because they want to go with the crowd. Rather than let the crowd, they wanted the crowd to lead them. Now the crowd has led them. See where we are today. See where we are. This is why we find ourselves where we are. Show me one example One. That is what I keep asking you people. You build stories about me. He's collected monies here. He's done this. He's done that. I've given you an example that even the case I won against La République, they do not want to pay because it is still Southern Cameroonians. That's how I call them. Who think they are Anglophones, who tell La République that, oh, don't give him that money. And most of you, I beg your pardon, are giving them the impression that, oh, the only thing we want is to take the power that is in their hands. So they should not leave it. They should hold it and let us continue to suffer. Do you think Yaoundé is actually interested in resolving this conflict? Do you think when we went to Switzerland, listen to HD, went to Canada, it is because we think Yaoundé is sincere? No! You don't go into a negotiated process thinking that the other side is sincere. You just go there with an open heart, prepare your strategy, and meet them on the table. I've explained to you people that there are 3 things that are critical for a negotiated settlement. There is peace, there is justice. It could be restorative justice or criminal justice. And there's reconciliation. You can't handle peace alone. So anybody who is talking of anything just saying that, oh, we talk about peace, is making a big mistake. Peace is a subset to that negotiation. Justice is a subset to that negotiation because there must be justice for the types of crimes that has been committed. Reconciliation is essential because things have happened that people have to live together and people have to confess for things they have done. Some people have murdered their brothers and sisters. Some here abroad have settled scores because of land disputes or other things, have used boys on the ground to do criminal things. You need reconciliation. Without these 3 things, you cannot succeed. So stop talking about peace. Stop talking about justice. Stop talking about reconciliation. Talk about a negotiated settlement. It encompasses these 3. How you set it up and prepare for it depends on how hardworking you are. This is how it works. This advice I'm giving to you people is the same advice I gave to the Biafrans. When I went to Ghana for the first time in 2014, it was because I was trying to bring the Biafrans together. It had nothing to do with us just supporting the Biafrans. It had everything to do with supporting the people who are genuinely suffering persecution. The rest of the deal is theirs. Even as most of you turn against us, you didn't know the strategic reason we were doing that. I lived in Nigeria for 3 years, protected by Olusegun Obasanjo. I understand the importance of what the federal government did. But if the Ododua people, the Yoruba say, oh, we have a problem, I will listen to them. If the Biafrans say they have a problem, I will listen to them. If the Hausas come today and say they genuinely have a problem, I will listen to them. Because the only reason why there are wars all over the world, it is because mankind have refused listening to one another. If Yaoundé was listening to us, because when you listen, it means you are willing to come up with a solution. When you refuse to listen, it means you don't care the consequences of what will happen. Listen and resolve issues. That is how it is. The Englishman says, a stitch in time saves 9. That is what the Englishman says. That is why this war is on the shoulders of La République du Cameroon and every other Southern Cameroonian who has been part of working with them to put our people where they are. They haven't done justice to us. They haven't done justice to La République du Cameroon. Their state. It's not easy for states to collapse. It is not easy. It is not easy. Even when you want it to collapse, you pray for it. It is not easy. So as you go to bed this night, think of every one of our people who are either in detention or who are now prisoners. Ask yourself that at this stage, if you fold your hands and you are always singing, hallelujah, 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 do you think they will ever come out of where they are? Or do you think if in any way they come out, they will not be just a broken, bruised, and battered individuals with no willingness to move forward with the struggle. On October 5th, 2001, I wrote to Bia. And I told Bia that we are the creative gadflies. If you know what a gadfly is, we are the people who make things work. And this is exactly what it is in Cameroon as a whole. The Southern Cameroonians, aka the Anglophones, are the creative gadflies. Nothing has happened in that country without us protesting, complaining, talking about it. Nothing. You can look into the history. Everything that has happened, whether it's in the educational system, in the legal system, everything has been because we have raised our voices. And any time that we fail to raise our voices and La Republic goes their own way, they don't succeed. So we are the creative gadflies. That is who we are. What former Congressman John Lewis we call good trouble. That is who we are. That is what we have been creating. And that is what we will continue to create until we are able to make sure that we can get freedom, not just for ourselves, but for all our people. So, my people, join me. Stand behind me. I am not interested to become your president or prime minister. I just want to make sure that those who have died, those who have sacrificed so much, those who have given everything for this struggle, and whose families continue to suffer for it, have not done so in vain. But it is your choice. You have to decide. It is your choice. You have tried every other thing, it hasn't worked. I've been watching. I give advice you don't take. And even when you do it the wrong way, you still come back to me. Now is the time. I have said it boldly. Because if we were in the forest fighting, like the SPLA or EPLA, or we were in Mozambique training like the ANC or the SSCP, if we have got instructors from Cuba or Libya, I will not be using my mouth to tell you to lie, to stand behind me. I would have known what to do. Because I know exactly what I think is better for our people than what they have now. Life is too short. We will not live forever. We don't know what awaits us the next second, minute, hour, day, weeks or month. But we must play our role. We must play our role. I will come back here again. I will come back here with a different message. But I want to assure you that this week, I will send out an audio. First, I will prepare a video copy of the letter of October 5th, 2001, so that you can understand the mindset why in prison in Kondenge. After having been brought from Fu, where I was there for 2 years in solitary confinement. It is time for most of you to come on board and do the right thing. It is time. But before we go, I would like to read you something. Something that was said a note that was sent to me by the leader of the Separatist Party of Quebec. The Separatist Party of Quebec. I will read it to you so that you listen. And he has read this book, and this is what he wrote. Quite touching and emotionally disturbing to read and learn about such a well-learned figure. I would have loved to have such courage. There are times in human life that we come across such human beings with very high superior qualities of absolute greatness. All of us, or maybe most of us, would have been glad to be like him. Can one really be able to flatter such a prisoner? He is indeed above every human comprehension. At his age, his words and action, nothing can deceive me to think otherwise. He has been touched by the glow of the divine. This was written by Jacques Bergeron, group conseiller, leader of Quebec Separatist Party. This is what he sent to me. And this is exactly what Nigeria's foreign minister, on behalf of Nigeria's foreign minister, Ambassador Oluyemi Odeneji, Professor Bola A. Akinteriwa, who was the special assistant, wrote, "Smiling can be an expression of happiness. It can also be a resultant of a negative force majeure. In the same vein, hardship can be negative or positive in outcome. If hardship as an experience puts smiles on the faces of people, it cannot but be good and positive. Smiling and hardship are part and parcel of life. Smiling through hardship is therefore an experience that is worth reading and from which lessons can be drawn for the future." Next time, I will read to you the message from Sister Jacqueline Gregoire, who is of Canadian extraction. And he was writing as part of the Yaoundé Archdiocese, January 31st, 2003. I will be reading that message to you. I just want you to live with these messages, to see how far we have come, and why, no matter the differences, there is no turning back and there is no giving up. You have my phone number, you have my email, you know how to get to me. Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp. If you truly want us to free ourselves from this scourge of inhumanity, then it is time for you to join hands, stand behind me, not as your president or your prime minister, but as the leader of the Southern Cameroon's liberation struggle for a separate homeland. The choice is yours. Thank you so much. And may you be blessed and protected wherever you are. Share the message and rest assured that I will be with you again on a different topic this coming week. It is my duty to let La République du Cameroon know that they will never quench the fire in me. It will keep burning until I take my last breath. Good night.